This was a triumph. Huge success, Sam.
What happened?
Well, we're doing multiple streams at the same time. That's multitasking. That's, as far as I've experienced, only female DMs are truly good at the multitasking of ideas. You see, us guy DMs, we try to simulate even a fraction of such multitasking power, and I fail every time.
I don't know about you, but I think I'm a pretty good multitasker. Though I do get distracted extremely easily.
Yeah, that easily distracted, Sam. That's not going to do you too much good.
If you got ADHD in the audience, text yee in the chat. Do we have a chat? What's going
on? You know what? We could easily have a chat, but then, you know.
Oh no, I didn't do the show notes for the fucking lip sync.
Oh no, wah wah.
I have it right here. Let me just.
I don't think we're going to need that today.
No,
because
no, I guess.
Well, don't you know that this week is rife with. Is it rife or ripe? It is certainly something with controversies this week.
Is it?
Well, Skynet is coming for the artist, Sam.
Oh, it's about time. Look, the Rule 34 artists have had it too good for too long.
They thought just because they could lewd that shit up that we'd be eating out of their hand forever.
Wait a minute. Before we get too deep into this stuff, don't we need to do our intro?
You know what? Sure, let's start the show. Welcome to Dungeons and Talkshows, the talk show that brings you monsters, news, and homebrews. I am your host, Orion.
And I am your host, Sam. Welcome to this week's episode. So, Orion, you mentioned...
I did it. I remembered this time.
Oh, you did? That was a fantastic transition and everything. Well done. But
I'm rolling.
I want to hear this tea that you speak of. What is going on?
Well, you see, Wizards of the Coast, big publisher, they're putting out a book like this coming week. And Stop the Presses, one of these artists that's been working there forever, has stirred up a shitstorm. I would say a shit hurricane.
Okay.
Well, the OGL was a shit typhoon, category 5. But this is like yeah. This is more of like a, it's really stirring up in the Gulf of Shitiko.
Right. Shiitake Twister.
Yeah, Shiitake Twisters, Sam. You see, what happened is this dude, he was using AI in conjunction with his art, or so he says, and like he made up these whole things, and if you have an eye for the AI, like we do here on Dungeons and Talk Shows, because we work with a bunch of people that really love their AI stuff.
Right.
Shout out to Forrest.
Shout out to Forrest.
Yeah, honestly, being in proximity to all his AI work has really given me an appreciation and a keen eye for detail. I see these things coming a mile away. So this guy, he goes out of his way and he's all like, hey, here, Wizards of the Coast, have my art, put it in the book. And they're like, yeah, sure. Okay, we'll put it in the book.
Right.
And, some keen people got, a little peek at what's going to be in the book. And these people, like us, eye for AI, Sam.
Okay.
And they spot that shit.
How many fingers it had?
You gotta count the fingers and the toes. Most people don't know about the toes.
That's how it always gets you,
Yeah. Well, you got classic toe nibblers that are usually on point with that kind of shit.
Yeah,
because you can't trick a proper toe nibbler.
That's so true. Oh my god, you're so correct.
I'm just, speaking wisdom here. As it stands, like you got like all these little key factors, and when people see those little AI flaws that only AI makes in that certain AI way, people are losing their mind. They're like, "Hey, like we were going to do the show last week,
Right.
and then immediately after we hopped off because of technical issues, we had a guest bail, much like today. So, rough week for us, but." I hit the Twitter for just a little bit, and like the shit storm's in full swing.
I'm sorry.
And
The what?
the shit storm.
No. I mean, what app are you talking about?
Oh, yes, the key. I was on key.
Is that what it's called?
Well, it's a giant X, and I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. What do you want from me?
Is that what? No. I mean, what are they like? What's the actual? What do we call it? Is it just X?
I'm gonna call it key.
I like key. That sounds cool.
Yeah,
that sounds
key.
better than whatever the fuck X is. Sorry, continue.
Elon Musk is bringing us to Kingdom Hearts, motherfucker. I'm ready.
It all comes around the Kingdom Hearts.
I just, I wish I had known that Elon was, a purveyor of papu fruit.
What? Wait, well, hold on.
Well, I mean, how is he not going to go around dishing out papu fruit? Like that's the next big thing if he's going to go with key.
Right. Me, a avid never played Kingdom Hearts, understands this reference with full clarity.
Well,
please do not.
All you need to know is that Square Enix and Disney had a mutant love child of a franchise, and then at some point, Donald cast a spell so powerful he kills himself.
Okay, hold on, wait. All I've heard about Kingdom Hearts in my too long life is, correct me if I'm wrong, and I may be cooking here. All right.
Okay, I'll let you cook.
Who is it? Goofy or whatever is a piece of shit. And Donald Duck never healed, or something like that. I've heard
Goofy.
a lot of hate. I've heard a lot of hate for those two characters, and I don't really know why.
Well, I mean, with Goofy, it's just like you either love Goofy or you hate him. But we all universally hate our heel bot named Donald because he don't do the heal bot thing very well. He's like, I'm gonna spend all the last bit of mana on a fire when I should be healing somebody who just got downed. It's like, damn, the AI for Donald is stupid.
I mean, it's Disney, so what can you really expect?
They gotta keep it canon.
Sorry, we had a story you were going on to. I'm sorry, I didn't even derail.
Yeah. The main thing is that this guy really pissed off a lot of people. People are canceling their pre-orders. They're like, oh, their AI art in the book, not buying it. Like, Wizards is taking a massive hit on this. They did come out with an official statement, though, and they're saying that they didn't know about it, that they had no idea that this guy uses AI art. He's known for doing it. He's very open about it. He's talked about it publicly all over the place. And it's just like, oh, okay. The thing is, I both believe them on that, and I don't.
Yeah, I find it hard that they didn't know. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I could see Wizards of the Coast is fucked up so much this year. I could absolutely believe that they're so fucking ignorant that they don't know who's doing what, when, where, or why. But I also believe that they're perfectly capable of just knowing about it and ignoring it.
That's also true. All right, you're cooking.
I full-heartedly believe that they're stupid enough to let shit go through the cracks. And I also believe that they're underhanded enough that if they did know about it, they'd let it go through the cracks. But now that it's out in the open, they're revamping their policy so that artists have to refrain from using AI with their art. Now, the guy said that he was just upscaling. There's like some deleted tweets on the subject. And he's like, oh, yeah, I just ran my art through this thing and it upscaled. It did a bunch of stuff. And, it's a whole thing. But that's a whole debacle. My personal opinion on it is, it's gonna happen. But like, dude, if you're gonna be an artist and you use AI with your art, don't get caught.
I mean, I feel like there's nothing wrong with using like what essentially is like a tool, to improve or perfect your art to your standards. Like it's a tool at the end of the day. Like when people, I think the problem here is people think that he's like, I created this in AI art and now I'm posing this as my art. Where I think
the guy's been working with Wizards since 2014, so
right.
He's been around since basically the start of 5th edition.
Yeah, so I don't really see anything wrong here. Like, he ran his art through a bot to make it a little bit better. Like,
well, assuming that that's true, but ultimately, well, benefit of the doubt. We'll give the dude the benefit of the doubt, because like,
I need to see the picture we were talking about here. Do we have it?
You know what? Let me see if I can pull that up real quick.
I mean, like, what? I mean, I need to see like a before and after. Like, I guess.
Oh, well, that's a little bit more specific. You tell me about the monster of the week, and all right. I'll pull this shit up.
All right, we'll get into it.
You caught me unawares, Sam.
Oh yeah, I do be doing that sometimes.
I should have had the foresight, but I lack those mechanisms.
You should have dipped into the celestial power and looked into the gods. Talked to Jesus or whatever you believe. Really connect to get that foresight.
Well, I certainly could have let the sun gods take the wheel.
Right. Right. Yes. Thank you, Quetzalcoatl. I'm gonna go ahead and do this for the fun of it. All right. I'm gonna take you guys to Mount Celestia here. Ignore whatever this effect is. Maybe somebody can fix it. But so we're gonna talk about here the Holyphant, what essentially is a flying elephant. It is roughly 2 feet in length. Which is 61 centimeters, with golden fur and wings, though some insisted that the wings were shining white. It also had small tusks made of ivory, and there seemed to be a wide rainbow variety in their eye colors.
All right.
So
lots of color, some ivory. They're very elephanto.
Yeah, they're essentially a fluffy goofy little elephant with wings, And they're pretty cute, honestly. A little ugly, but also kind of cute in a way.
But like a giant baby elephant.
Basically,
like a flying baby elephant.
Yeah, when people say like when pigs fly, it's kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So they also had a alternate form in which these golden fur of the elephantine creature seemed to glow, and the aura around them. Any good creature observing a Holyphant felt a fondness towards it, while any evil creature felt immediately loathing and hostile, and a deep sense of fear.
Okay.
Holyphants also had some scholars make speculations that a Holyphant's appearance was a projection of some kind, that they were actually spirits with a different true appearance, since surely no creature would look so goofy in reality.
No creature would ever look goofy in reality. I'm looking at you, fucking platypus.
Have you seen oh my god, so many animals look fucking fake, man. They look made up. When is God gonna drop a new animal?
Get
that getting old, DLC.
Man. Are you trying to tell me that evolution is just God's DLC?
I mean,
we have to pay for the expansion packs?
Not to get into, I'm literally about to get into religion here, but like not to get into religion here. I don't disagree with that thing. So apparently I deleted the part where I talked about this. Oh, here it is. So these creatures also had an alternative form that they could take, which was a 12-foot tall, 3.7 meter bipedal mastodon with shaggy black fur, huge leathery wings, and a massive curved tusks. In this form, they weighed about 1,200 pounds or 540 kilograms.
Oh, damn.
Big fucking boys. They would just shapeshift into...
Wait. Only 1,200 pounds?
I mean, yeah, 1,200 pounds, 540 kilograms.
Isn't that kind of light for like an elephant-looking creature?
I don't know. How much does an elephant weigh? How much does an elephant weigh? Jesus Christ. Between 4,500 and 11,000 pounds. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, they're really small. So, interesting. So, what I think is also kind of funny. So, Holyphants apparently took great offense at such an idea that anyone who looked upon them would see them as goofy or ugly or or anything like that. And they were kind of distasteful of the idea that people with true seeing or true sight would see their true form. And what's also interesting, if you do have true sight or true seeing, you would see both forms simultaneously.
At the same time.
At the same time. I'd imagine that they would kind of overlap each other. So
that sounds trippy as fuck.
It does, right? And that kind of sits into the idea that these are kind of these, celestial creatures.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Before I get into the Forgotten Realms lore, I found something a little bit interesting about the real-life mythology of this. So, images of elephants in regards to religious depictions do share the same kind of aesthetic.
Oh, Sam. Yeah. I did pull up the thing here.
Oh, yeah. All right,
okay.
Go ahead and do that before I get into this.
If you look at the... oh, shit.
Yeah.
I just realized that I can't even show it to you directly, because, I fucked up there. But so the main features that people look towards in the art where this guy used the AI, we got this foot down here that's all kind of distorted and fucked up proportions, are a little weirdly angled. It's like what's going on here? Perspective, people.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we got these little wolf paws at the front that kind of look a little fucked up.
You just send me the link or something. Post them.
You know what? Why didn't I do that to begin with? But anyway, it's like those little things. Like the rest of it looks pretty fucking cool. It looks pretty spot on for the most part.
Would you be able to tell it had AI done to it?
Yes. Just because I've seen a lot of AI art, so it's like, okay. Those two are some pretty telltale spots. But I'm going to pull up another one.
Let me see it, motherfucker.
Yes.
You can also share your screen.
You know what? Why didn't I do that to begin?
Big brain.
Big brain, one I do not have.
Look, man, we share a brain cell, and I'm borrowing it for now.
Well, I expect you to give it back when you get a chance.
Yeah.
I'm just trying not to mess up our little Discord thing there.
Yeah.
Oh well. As you were saying about the Holyphants there.
Mm-hmm. Right. Let me just take this off for a minute. All right, yeah, you guys get the point. So, images of elephants in regards to religious depictions do share the same kind of aesthetic. In that elephants are wise, powerful, and sacred. In various cultures and countries, it's no surprise to see a creature like this appearing in D&D. I mean, even in pop culture, we have flying pigs, like I said earlier. They're basically cousins, right? So some ideas I found that are kind of reminiscent of this. We have Ganesh, the famous Hindu deity. We have Malini, a goddess associated with the birth of Ganesha. We have Vinayaki, a Hindu goddess, and Airavata, an elephant ridden by a Hindu god Indra. So I thought those were kind of
Okay,
cool.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
they
some
kind of
stuff
give me
right
the
there.
same kind of vibe as this picture. So I imagine maybe they were the inspiration for this. I don't know.
They very well could be.
Yeah.
You know what? I did manage to steal the brain cell back.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have a look right here, jumping back to the AI art thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see.
Yeah, you see the first one, and then the second thing I sent you is the proposed upscale, which, yeah, I could see it. I've done the same thing to my art before. I've sent pictures of my character Esra that I put together to Forrest to upscale and like have the AI kind of tweak, because it's always amazing seeing what comes out of that stuff.
Bro, you know what? Honestly, I'm gonna hold on. I don't know what picture you saw for the Holyphants, but I'm gonna show you the picture in the book. By the way, this does appear in the Descent into Avernus adventure.
Got a copy of that on my bookshelf.
I do, man. I was gonna run this adventure for my roommates when I was living in New Mexico.
Yeah, we talked about that.
It was pretty fun. So I'm gonna try and show you this picture. Tell me this motherfucker doesn't look AI as fuck. This thing is ugly as hell. What is this? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be this close to my mic, but like, oh my god, look at this monstrosity.
you know what? You're right.
This looks worse than that does. And they're giving him that much shit. Like, come on.
People are only giving him shit because he got caught.
I mean,
it's like Dad used to say, you're not sorry that you did it. You're sorry that you got caught. Spoken like a true criminal.
That's a very fair point. I'm curious of what the people who listen to this episode think. So please let us know in the comments. Or
most people are really against it because, like, I understand the points that they're saying, and I agree with the points to an extent. It's like, okay, that job could have gone to a real artist. And it's like, okay, yeah, it did go to a real artist. It's
he
just
did the majority of the work, right? Like,
yeah, he did a majority of the work, and he's been doing real work for the company since 2014. AI has just gotten advanced enough to use and integrate with art stuff as of this year.
right.
Like this past year and a half.
I can definitely see, looking at this picture, the AI did improve a lot of aspects of this picture. Even though the fingers are a little wonky, the distortions are a little weird, you know what I mean? But things about this don't look that bad. Like,
to be fair, as far as the fingers go, it didn't have much to work with.
yeah,
You look at the before, there was not much going on there.
right. And it gave it a lot more detail, I feel like, at least, in some aspects.
It's one of those things where it is a tool, but there's a time and a place.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily something that you should use in a professional capacity,
Right.
like that.
Definitely with this, like, even though it doesn't look that bad, if you're putting it in a professional sense and you're going to be published in a book, you want it to be as refined and as perfect as possible, right? So looking at this, you can tell this isn't perfect work. You can tell, maybe it was rushed at the end, or maybe he needed a little...
You mean to tell me this dude doesn't have access to Photoshop?
Yeah, like, he could have maybe used the AI and then maybe went in Photoshop and fixed it up or whatever, but like...
from a art amateur to a professional,
Yeah.
hands are difficult.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I could see situations where people would want to use AI to fix up their lines, fix up their designs,
Dude, drawing hands is so hard, the AI struggles with it.
Yeah.
I can't draw hands to save my fucking life. I try desperately. I have to rip off someone else's, I have to go off the internet and be like, okay, I gotta find a good hand, kind of copy that hand, and then stick it to the rest of this figure that I'm drawing right here. And it's
We've
like,
literally ran your drawings through AI. It's like, we've done this.
I should pull that up, actually. But
Like, I think AI could do great things for our work. Like, I don't think there has to be this huge division between AI and artists. Like, it's all art. Why can't we just? You know what I mean?
The thing is, as we've said many a time on the show before, it's a tool. But the thing about tools is they get abused. I mean, take a hammer for example.
Yeah.
You could break a wall with a hammer. You could build a house with a hammer. You could also cave a man's skull in with a fucking hammer.
Facts. Big facts.
And guns are fun too. They're fantastic tools. You could break a lock with a gun. You could, shoot a piece of rope from really far away with a gun. Or you could use they're actually used in industrial ways too, like ram sets, because they use like a little gunpowder and these little bullet cartridges to like shoot the screws right into stuff.
Right.
But guns also are used for killing, so it's like any tool in the wrong hands can be a problem.
I agree. I think if people were able to combine them and use it in the way that it's really meant to be used, then they could make their art so much more. You know what I mean? Like, they could just improve the art rather than thinking that they're going to be replaced by AI. They can just make themselves even more valuable by using it. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, like I'm looking at this thing here, right? And it's just like, let me pull it up again.
If you learn anything, take anything from this episode, take some time and learn AI art. Like, give it a chance. See what it can do for you.
Yeah, like I'm looking at this little thing right here, and the main thing I'm taking away from it is just like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And I see how it upscales from one to the other, but where this guy really fucked up is that he left it at that. No.
Right. He should have done more.
It's like there's touch-up work that happens after. Like, if you're going to do that, you have to touch it up after.
If he touched this up after, it would have been clean.
Like you fix the hand, do a couple things here and there. Like, it's the kind of quality that he's probably used to. But
like put that contrast back in that you wanted.
Yeah, honestly, like if he fixed the wolf feet and
I do see what they're talking about with
giant
the wolf feet, yeah.
Yeah, you saw that. So like, if he fixed that, wouldn't been nearly as bad.
Yeah, I'm like this. Yeah, look, this to me feels like he was trying to hit a deadline. He was like, all right, and at the end of this, I'll just run it through the AI to get it done. Like, and if that was the case, then like I can understand. You know what I mean? Like. But, use it as a tool. Don't abuse it. I mean, always try to, give it your own flavor, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he could have done better, and I would have liked to see better. But you know who really gets hurt? In this protest of the book, you know who really gets hurt the most? Every other fucking artist that worked on the book.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Because now they're going to look at everybody else and be like, oh, did they use AI? Oh.
Honestly, you can't tell me Wizards hasn't been using AI art on Magic cards for the past year.
God. They've been using it on their books, probably. Like, I don't believe that they haven't. I'm looking at a lot of the creatures that I've seen. Like, there's no way they haven't. Like,
honestly, it's one of those things where trust and believe they've been doing this shit. This is just the first slip up.
He just happened to be the biggest name to get caught.
Hey, at least this dude's honest about it. He ain't lying about it.
He's like, I know what I did, whatever. Like, just because y'all.
And Wizards gave him a stern talking to.
Yeah.
Dude, I would hate to get hauled into some Hasbro exec's office. Like, you got the Pinkertons all lined up on one wall, and you go like, they got their affiliate branch on the other side. It's got some other mercenary name.
We got some like 80-year-old dude, like a long wizard cane. He like bangs it on the floor. Like,
you
why
turn around his fucking Mike from Breaking Bad. Oh, you done fucked up. Why'd you have to do it, kid? Why'd you have to go and ruin a good thing by using AI to supplement your artwork?
Oh my god. Anyway, I was talking about a monster. Let's get back to that. Oh no, I had everything. Okay.
Wild stuff. All
right, so in the Forgotten Realms lore of this weird little boy, the Descent to Avernus book, where the creature appears, has this to say about what the creatures are. Holyphants are gentle, stalwart creatures native to the upper planes. Good aligned deities and angels use them as messengers and helpers. Holyphants treasure friendship and honesty. A Holyphant looks like a miniature elephant with luminous gold fur and small, rapidly fluttering wings that not only hold it aloft, but also propel it at great speed. Although kind, a Holyphant won't bear witness to an evil act without punishing the malefactor. Its pearlescent tusks are far from formidable, but it can unleash trumpet blasts from its trunk that can deafen creatures or engulf evildoers.
I'm gonna pull this image up on screen just because, yeah, that thing looks so fucked, dude. But it's cute, you know, like fucking adorable. 30 seconds.
All right. From where?
And action.
Although kind, a Holyphant won't bear witness to an evil act without punishing the malefactor. Its pearlescent tusks are far from formidable, but it can unleash trumpet blasts from its trunk that can deafen creatures or engulf evildoers in radiant sparklers of positive energy. A Holyphant is also blessed with powerful innate magic to help it combat evil and protect its friends.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I think they're pretty cute. I like them.
I'm gonna pull up this other version of the Holyphant, like this was a mastodon looking thing.
The transformation, yeah. You see the huge wings. It's very bulky. I like it.
That's a big boy.
In a little
fucking
bit of my
war
research,
machine right there.
See that there is a homebrew for not only a race for these creatures. There's a familiar and companion.
That sounds like some Stibbles shit.
Yeah, it does. I'm surprised that I didn't see this in Stibbles, but a little bit.
It's kind of like having a flump in your party, but also it's just like an insufferable paladin.
I don't want to give too many spoilers about the Avernus adventure, but there is a companion named Lulu the Holyphant that
I do know of this because like I skimmed the book and I'm like, oh hey, there's a Holyphant.
Right, yeah. It was a Holyphant who served for centuries as the war mount and a friend of Zariel when she was still an angel. Yeah. So something I think is really funny about these guys, they were apparently very sensitive about their appearance, which many found to be quite silly. Likewise, visitors to the plains were advised not to speculate on their origins, as they took offense to this. Otherwise, the typical Holyphant did not take itself too seriously, and as a rule, they strongly enjoyed harmless pranks and joking. Though do not make fun of them and do not prank them.
So your typical prank bros, they don't they're perfectly okay with pranking the fuck out of you, but if the moment you fucking prank them,
yeah, they're like, how fucking dare you, piece of shit. Better
bar ram you.
You leave my mother out of it.
You wash my mother's name out of your mouth.
So let's get into their. Oh no, I forgot to pull up their stat block. Hold on a second. Holyphants. Okay, so looking at the Holyphant here. This is wrong. Why didn't I just go to look in the first place? God damn it. I know what page it's on. I found it immediately. Alright. So looking
to the book.
Looking at the Holyphant stat block, going over their abilities here. They have a strength of 10, dexterity of 11. So I'm curious on what the stats are when it transforms, or I wonder if it stays the same. Constitution of a 12,
I don't know.
intelligence of a 16, wisdom of a 19, and charisma of a 16. So not bad caster stats.
Okay, so they got some magics in there, I assume.
Oh yeah. So they do have the innate spell casting. They have at will light, 2 a day, bless, cure wounds, protection from evil and good. 1 a day. They have banishment, heal, raise dead, shape change, teleport.
Cool.
Right. They also have a aura of invulnerability. I don't have to read from this anymore. I don't want to look down the entire
So,
all right.
I wonder if that aura of invulnerability applies to, like, I don't know, not necessarily like damaging things like this jalapeno.
Actually, before I get into that real quick, let me just go over.
I have a half-eaten jalapeno because like I got some fresh jalapenos out of the garden today.
Oh, nice. Before I go,
the fresh ones are like stronger than normal.
Do you just eat them, like straight up?
Yeah.
Oh, you're eating one right now. Oh, okay, nice. All right, cool. So, in its small form, a Holyphant could gore with its upward curving tusks, but since it was so little, this was not often effective, and it usually avoided melee combat. More likely, it would use its powerful magical trunk. Holyphants were both magical and psionic creatures. When in their usual small size, their shimmering fur gave them invulnerability to spells of weaker power, while their tusks provided them with immunity to poison and diseases. A Holyphant also
if I skin one of these motherfuckers and wear it as a coat, I'll have immunities?
I mean, I believe so. Holyphant also had several impressive healing abilities, including the power to raise the dead.
Okay.
Yeah. Beyond all these magical abilities, a Holyphant had a limited number of psionic powers as well, including forms of clairsentience and telepathy, and the power to see invisibility, make mind-controlling suggestions. Perhaps most uniquely, the Holyphant could use its trunk in a variety of ways. Depending on what the Holyphant wanted, it could use a trumpeting blast of intense, damaging, deafening sound, which could also stun its opponents, or it could shoot out a burst of positive energy particles called sun sparkles. Cute. Sun sparkles inflicted great damage on the undead or creatures from the lower planes.
Sun sparkles.
Yeah.
Is that what radiant damage is?
I mean, essentially, it's positive energy, right? So, I mean, you're just munching away, huh? What did I tell you about eating during the recording? God damn it.
That's ice, man. Crunch that ice.
The biggest crunches. So it's also pretty cool.
Here on Dungeons and Talkshows, we are very big proponents of crunches.
That's a fair point. We do love crunches. So a Holyphant was also known to summon aid. They would get help quick if they needed it. Another Holyphant was most likely to respond, but sometimes a Deva would heed the call instead. Which type of Deva responded depending on where the Holyphant was at the time. They got fucking calls. Oh my god.
Dude.
They're just calling Devas. They're like, hey yo,
they're calling it a fucking
help.
holy airstrike right there.
Jesus Christ, no, literally. If one was on the upper planes, an Astro Deva would come. If one was on the inner planes, a Nomadic Deva would answer. If one was on the material, a Mavonic Deva would heed the call. Azuras and Evoros would also be known to come when summoned by a Holyphant.
Okay, so although it's kind of worth it to have a pelt, trying to skin one of these things will get you in hot water
God
real
damn. Quick. Yeah, they're literally like, my big bro is here.
It's like one of those fucking cartoons where like, oh hey, it's such a cute little cub, I'm gonna play with it. It's like, mama, help!
Yeah, not only will this thing transform into a big boy, it'll summon an upper deity, or like not an upper deity, but like an upper celestial to back it up. It's crazy.
Damn.
I have to do an episode on Devas. I was thinking about it for this one, but Holyphants were funny.
Yeah, that does sound interesting because like, aren't Devas like are close to gods, but like a little less than that? Like they're above angel, below God.
Yeah, they were kind of like angels. I'm trying to remember. I think they were kind of like the higher angels. Like they don't really like what's it called? They worship like the cosmology, not like the deity. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure.
Whatever plane they're on, they're going to bring it in something powerful from that section of that universe.
Yeah. It's literally like a realm airstrike. Oh, your little party of just level 9 people are trying to hunt this Holyphant? Damn.
I'd like to see a party of evil players just try to hunt these things down.
Oh, man. That'd be really cool. An evil party?
You don't see those too often, and like
fun.
even when you do, there's always like small time evil, not like big time multiverse.
Having
evil.
A campaign from the perspective of the villains?
It's not an original idea, but damn if it's not a good one.
I always love stuff like that because I love villains always more than heroes. Okay, you know what I mean? So like now I'm thinking about playing a villain. I'm like, that sounds fun.
I once came close to running an evil campaign. It fizzled because all the players had like, some of them were moving, others had commitment issues, and then it all fell apart.
Right.
I was going to run a regular campaign for them first. First session starts. Everyone decides to roll up evil characters, and it's like, I guess I'm pivoting to an evil campaign. So then I spend like the next week prepping. I'm like, okay, I'm going to come up with like a evil organization name, and people are going to. But this is a name that's going to be given to them by the people.
Right.
So like like how like an anime is like the 6 terrors. It's like you have to face the 4 emperors of the sea. It's like okay. So it's like the people kind of like bestow that name upon it's like a colloquial thing, you know?
Right.
So they do some evil acts, and then like they get kind of dubbed something by like the world government, and then like they get hunted down and deal with X, Y, and Z. But then all that prep went to shit, and I had like some big evil plans for them to go with. Like I was ready to go all in for an evil campaign.
All right, you know what? Maybe after the Grim Hollows, maybe I'll switch up the script, and maybe you guys have a campaign from the different perspective. Have you guys hunt down the eyes? That sounds fun. Wait a minute. That sounds really cool. All right.
Well, I think most DMs are afraid of evil campaigns because it's like
I know players will go
a lot
crazy.
of players might. Oh, dude, so many people, like, it's one of those things where it's a time, place, and you gotta have the right party, because, like, a lot of players are just like, oh, hey, I'm gonna take this straight to, I'm gonna make it weird.
As soon as your players start rolling up that alchemist artificer, and they start asking questions about fusion, you know what's coming.
Dude, that's me.
You're like, oh, God.
I think you run into problems when you get the one player that doesn't understand that most people at the table might not be okay with rape.
Can I be like a radiation wizard? That sounds fun.
Radiation wizard? That you're just radiant damage and poison. Those are your forte.
Yeah, I give people cancer.
The cancer wizard.
I just pull out a cancer
We need a
ray. Cancer
wizard subclass stat.
All right, this is just the Harley Quinn cancer ray callback.
You gave him cancer.
Oh my God.
Harley Quinn, you gave me cancer?
Oh my God. I'm sorry if we have anybody who has cancer listen to this. I hope you can laugh. We love you.
Hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, then
life
sucks.
Right, elephants. All right, yeah. So, like we said before, the aura and vulnerability, right? Let's talk about that. An invisible aura forms around a 10-foot radius sphere around the Holyphant for as long as it lives. So, always. I mean, as long as it's persistent.
Invisible aura.
Right. Any spell of 5th level or lower cast from outside the barrier will automatically fail any creatures within the barrier, even if the spell is cast using a higher level spell slot. So if you upcast it, it fails anyway.
So that's a good way to protect a party.
Mm-hmm.
When they're in an area they don't belong in.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like a null magic, anti-magic field at that point.
I don't see enough anti-magic in D&D,
really
honestly.
don't.
Like, so Like, I incorporate anti-magic or magic nullification material into my campaigns, like Galenite, for example.
Mm-hmm. I did a little bit.
Because, like, it's like, it's one of those things you don't encounter it much. Like, there's supposed to...
Yeah, it's
I'm sure some DMs use it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
anti-magic fields, low magic zones, high magic zones.
Yeah, I always love to think about, magical concentrations of mana, naturally. And, like, what effect that would have on the world. Why this forest is, so twisted and weird. Maybe the mana is dense here. Maybe your spells are a little bit stronger.
Like a mana dense area.
Yeah.
Like, say you go to cast something, everything you cast is automatically upcast for free,
right?
By like one level.
Yeah, like sometimes in our games when you cast detect magic, I'll tell you that your senses are kind of overwhelmed.
For sure.
Yeah, I like to think about that kind of stuff. Yeah,
I personally like the whole Galenite material that I use in my games because, like, hardness wise, it's like just above rock, but not nearly as hard as steel or iron.
Yeah, it's like a high stone.
It's like a high stone, and where it's just like, if you have some Galenite manacles, that caster's not casting.
Right.
You have a Galenite shield. If you block a spell, that spell's not getting through that shield.
Yeah, I like that.
You got a Galenite sword? Okay. You're overcoming whatever magic that you're cutting through.
Yeah, you can cut through spells now. Like, that's pretty cool.
Or if you have like a cell that's lined with Galenite, but it's just like, I make it kind of rare in my settings, so it's like, if you do have some, it matters,
right?
But it's not kind of overpowered. It's like it's something to be used, or a way to just kind of slow down magic, not necessarily nullify your casters. It's just sometimes your cast. A lot of people complain about casters being too strong, but sometimes you just got to give them
people
obstacles.
act like there's ways, like there's not ways to counter casting. Like there's really, like, it's not that difficult. If casters are too strong, make anti-magic. You know what I mean? Like it's not. There's ways.
Like I'm not saying you don't let them be able to do stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like casters are going to be doing stuff all the time, but give them obstacles.
Right. It's
obstacles are like, we need challenges all the time, and not enough people are able to solve a puzzle at their D&D table.
And
like, people struggle with the smallest things.
The thing with casters is they force you to change up your challenges from a physical challenge, right, to now it's a challenge of the mind. You have to outsmart them. And I like that.
Well, sometimes it's just like, if you're in a low magic field, it's like, okay, you have to upcast your lower spot, your lower slots, just to be able to get a normal effect.
Yeah.
Or if you're in a nullified magic field, okay, anti-magic all the way. Normally this person would have to do things this way. Now they have to be ingenuitive with what items they have and what the marshals of the party is like.
Right.
Is this what things are like for you guys all the time? Yeah, yes, actually. We don't usually have the luxury of being able to cast spider climb and run up the wall. We have to use our hands.
Right. Now, I love when players, they're like, oh, okay, we're going shopping this session. Like, I want to look for this. Like, I had an idea, and I want to know if this item is a thing, or can I buy a potion for this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love stuff like that.
Oh, I absolutely get you, because there's so many items in the game. And we had that situation just a few weeks ago where one of the players in our game didn't understand what a 10-foot pole was for.
Yeah. Oh, man, the variety of uses and just creativity. You can do anything, man.
Do you think you could pole vault with a 10-foot pole?
Yeah. I mean, if you're like a what's it called? If you're
Olympics or whatever.
Not a dwarf.
You're a dwarf.
Dwarfs are probably a little too bulky, but they probably could.
Pole vaulting and dwarf comes to mind right away.
I'm trying to think of Liam from Critical Role. His race, halfling.
Gnome.
No,
it's almost always.
He's not a gnome. Chetney's a gnome.
Critical Role, they love gnomes for some reason.
They do love. Chetney is hilarious. All right, anyway.
I don't even think there's a single campaign they've done without at least one gnome.
their last one ever know? Mighty Nine? Not Mighty Nine.
You know what? I'm not much of a Critical Role guy, but
Oh.
probably.
Anyway, let me finish up this this Holyphant stuff so I can get this out of the way. Let's see here. So such a spell can target creatures and objects within the barrier, but the spell has no effect on them. Similarly, the area within the barrier is excluded from the areas affected by such spells. So if you cast a spell with a radius, you kind of include
Okay.
the Holyphant within it. The radius of this 10 feet is excluded. The Holyphant can use an action to express this trait until its concentration ends. Yes.
It's a Venn diagram of fuck you, no.
Yeah, basically. It's a Venn diagram of nuh-uh. So I talked about the trumpet a little bit. So let me tell you what the trumpets can do. So
the trumpets can summon otherworldly things to fuck your day. What else do they
trumpets
do?
can do more than that, man. So 3 times a day, the Holyphant blows air through its trunk, creating a trumpet sound that can be heard out to a range of 600 feet. The trumpet can also create a 30-foot cone of energy that has one of the following effects chosen by the Holyphant. Trumpet of Blasting. Each creature in the cone must make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 5d6 thunder damage and is deafened for 1 minute. On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage and isn't deafened. Non-magical objects in the cone that aren't being held or worn take 10d6 thunder damage. Trumpet.
It's like thunder breath.
Yeah, pretty much. I like the idea of non-magical objects taking damage.
I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I was designing that subclass for the Artificer, the one that was based on Deidara from Naruto, where it's just like, okay, one of the key features of the class is that your explosives do double damage to structures and items.
Absolutely. I mean, there's the what's it called, the siege feat or trait or whatever that some creatures have, where that makes them do double damage to structures.
Yeah, that's what that was based on. Because like, okay,
I like that.
If you're playing with bombs, you want to break structures.
Yeah, break stuff. So last but not least, the trumpet effect that I mentioned, the Trumpet of Sparkles. Creatures in the cone must make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw, taking 4d8 plus 4 radiant damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Evil creatures have disadvantage on the saving throw. Good creatures in the cone take no damage.
But Sam, what is good?
Oh man, guess you'll have to listen to our shorts when we start doing the alignment charts.
Well, shit.
Oh man.
No, dude, I've had people at my tables that as soon as you start talking about good and evil, they're like, okay, that's a very subjective thing. Motherfucker, we use good and evil to quantify good and evil at the table so that we have these juxtaposed universal forces.
Yeah, I mean, in this sense,
don't get philosophical on me.
In the sense of the cosmology, good and evil are well defined. Like, there's really no moral area except for the neutral plane. You know what I mean? I mean,
well, the neutral plane's supposed to be morally gray.
But you know what I mean? But like, if you're good, you're good. Like, there's, you know what I mean? And if you're evil, you're evil. There's really no like, I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Like,
so is it like an LT Gray situation? Is he good? Is he evil? We'll just have to wait and fucking see.
Yeah, it's all in the actions and the motivations and the morals and the ethics and blah, 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 blah. Listen to our videos. We talk about all this stuff.
I never even found out what LT Gray's alignment was by the end of the series.
I know, right? What the heck? But yes, that is the Holyphant. I hope you guys enjoyed this long-winded explanation of this weird flying elephant and also big muscular elephant.
1,200 pounds, though, even in its big form. I mean, that's like a car.
I mean, compared to like the average, adventurer, that's a big hulking boy.
Well, I guess the main thing is that your barbarian's probably not wrestling that one.
Right. Yeah, it's about the weight of a giant, I would imagine.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. About the weight of a giant.
Yeah, maybe not
that's
like
appropriate for that size
maybe
class,
like
typically.
like a hill or like you know what I mean, like mountain giant or something like that. Maybe not like a
Yeah, one of
storm
the
giant or
smaller
something.
ones.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, not one of those big, dense ones.
Big, bulky, dense boys.
Well, I think a stone giant would be objectively denser than
I mean, yeah,
like
that's
a
a fair
fire
point.
giant.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. Fire joints are probably the air are probably the lightest, huh?
Oh, you mean storm giants?
No,
Yeah,
not storm
maybe.
giants, air giants, or like the wind, whatever they're called.
Yeah, that's the storm giants.
No, they're different. Those are the
Well,
biggest.
you know
ones.
what? Maybe I'll have to look in the
maybe we need to do
soon to be discounted Book of Giants because of the AI artwork.
Maybe we need to do a giant episode.
You know what? I think we do need a giant episode. I kind of hope that the books go on discount because, like, I don't like paying full price for D&D books.
Hey, if there's one thing we can all
a lot of
agree
people
is
don't want to
support.
support Wizards, but it's like I couldn't support Wizards if I wanted to right now.
Yeah,
I'll have to go do some back alley deals just to get my fix of source books.
Yeah, a lot of people that complain about like funding these companies like already go through like the back alley like ways of getting things anyway. So it's like it's really not like it doesn't matter. Like you buying it from Walmart isn't really given like that much.
It's something like back in the day, like when my dad was playing D&D, like him and his buddies would just go to the local bookstore, be all discreet, and they'd be like, okay, we're going to go in, we're going to hit this place, we're going to steal a couple of D&D books, and we're going to get the fuck out, and then we'll go to the next town, and then we'll steal a couple D&D books there, and we're going to get the fuck out.
Look,
and then
man.
by the end of a couple months, they have themselves a collection of D&D books that they're able to kind of cobble together a campaign with.
Look, man, these days people just go to Temu and buy D&D books for $5. You know what? Like,
I've seen the ads for Temu. Is it legit?
I don't think
what
people
the
like
fuck's
it
going
right
on there?
now, but I'm not sure. It is legit. I've tested out a few things just to kind of see if it
looks sketch as fuck,
It
dude.
does look sketch as fuck, right? But I got some free things and I got them sent, you know what I mean? And I did receive them, so I guess it is legit. I don't know.
You holding out on me? Like,
What do you mean?
I want some free
Stuff
shit.
is so cheap there, dude. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't know how that shit functions. Probably illegally. I don't know. But it's so cheap.
They're probably there's probably like some kind of sex trade. Like they're just
no.
a
Oh god.
like they just got a legion of prostitutes and they're just No, I'm not talking like traditional sex trade. I'm just like they're going up to the trade dudes like, hey, we'll jerk you off and we'll get a full shipment for free. And that's how they get their stuff.
Right.
I don't fucking know. Like, it's sketch as fuck. There's got to be something shady going on.
Yeah, I can see that. It probably is.
But you know what's not shady?
What's not shady?
Our homebrew that we're showing off this week.
Oh my god, what's your homebrew for this week?
Ow!
Lots of fun. Excellent.
All right.
Nice.
So it very much in vibe with the stinger there. I present to you the new subclass for the artificer, the sonificer.
Man, there's not enough sound magic in D&D. Please give me something good to work with.
Please, I need more all the time. I need warlocks that sell their soul for rock.
Yes, literally, like,
You know, Tenacious D needs to be in D&D. You know, like who could forget? Oh, the dragon's balls blaze when I stepped into his cave and I sliced his fucking cockles with a long and shiny blade.
oh my god, yes.
Like,
You're telling me
dude,
I can make
if that hasn't inspired a player or two, I don't know what will.
God, give me the days where I can make Pentakill like into a D&D party. We could have like a mage who like screams into a mic.
Yes. Actually, you were a part of that one game where the party, like, the game eventually fizzled out from hiatus, but the basic canon was you guys were forming a band. You weren't really going to go with the main quest line.
Be like, fuck that.
And it's just like,
that was my my
fuck
Dragonborn
that
warlock.
noise. We're starting a band. March into a fucking wedding reception, and they're like, oh, hey, where's the entertainment? You guys jump up on stage. We're the entertainment.
I just remember, like, I get on stage, I like pull down my hood. They're like, oh, Dragonborn. I like whip my dreads. I like put up a chromatic orb, shoot a light right through it, so it dazzles.
Dude, even the non-music person, the tiefling of the party, was using thaumaturgy to like kind of manipulate, do like the lights for the show. Yeah. You guys got that blessing of Dionysus, and then like everybody's AoE for all their flashy abilities increased by an extra 30 feet. Your breath attacks started like you're like breathing ice shards into the air, get that little sparkle.
It's so cool. That was a fun
Nat 20s all around. It was a wild time.
That was amazing.
Let's see here. I gotta pull this up to where it needs to be. Oh, that's the wrong one. I was gonna pull... And let's see. Is that the... I wanted to show the thing right there.
Hope this is a fun episode for you guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Me not knowing how to work the OBS so I can show people what I'm looking at.
We're professionals, guys. We know what we're doing, I swear.
Please, trust me. Absolute professional over here. But anyway, I'll just read off the thing. The Sonificer, it's some cool shit. We got chords, we got dwarf metal. It's the whole thing.
I like it.
I'll read some of the flavor text before we get into some of the abilities right here. Some musicians play soothing music to relax their audience. Some play lively tunes to entertain and get people to dance. The Sonificer's specialization does none of that. They are artificers that have managed to combine artifice and instruments, by making and creating amplified instruments, whose aim is to disrupt their foes by playing music as loud as possible.
Let's go.
So this is a metal subclass for the metal worker of the party.
No stealth at all. I love it.
Stealth, never heard of it. We gotta live for the part.
Oh my god! If you are a My Hero Academia fan and you love Present Mike for some reason, this is the class for you.
That sounds about right.
I was watching the new My Hero season recently, and I was watching Present Mike fighting all the Nomus, and I was like, okay, go off.
Okay, so moving to the first one. At 3rd level, we're getting the ability Ready to Rock.
I love it.
So you gain proficiency with a string instrument of your choice. You also gain proficiency in wood carver's tools or carpenter's tools. If you already have these proficiencies, you gain proficiency with another type of artisan tool of your choice. Lastly, you're proficient in heavy armor.
Okay.
So already, you're going to be really good at making the shit that you need for this, in case you weren't already.
So this is a subclass, right? So you would multi-class into this?
This is a subclass for Artificer. So at 3rd level, you're right, I'm going to start specializing.
I see. What are the main weapons of Artificers?
I mean...
do they get
jokingly, everyone says guns.
Like simple weapons, martial weapons?
I think it's primarily simple.
Interesting.
It's like it really depends.
So I'm trying to think of what kind of weapon you would have for this character. I'm trying to create some type of guitar in my head.
Yeah, your axe, your guitar is your axe.
It's like an axe guitar. I like it. You could have like a Marceline axe guitar. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Exactly. You got your bass, and then you rock them right to their core. start cave-ins and
I wanna
everything.
make a
So starting
marketing
out,
character.
you're gonna get some sonificer spells. That's gonna include Thunder Wave, Pyrotechnics, Shatter, Color Spray, Thunder Step, Wind Wall, Confusion, Storm Sphere, Destructive Wave, and Transmute Rock.
Okay.
Dude, I'm loving the vibe there,
Mm.
because like it's all either performative, thunder damage, or like just
I like it. That is pretty cool.
yeah, great pick for the spells there. Then we're gonna follow up with Amped Up, another 3rd level feature. Your combined magical tinkering and draw to music has allowed you to create an instrument that has been magically amplified to be much louder than normal. Okay, you gain the following benefits while you wielding your amplified instrument. So this is going to be like, I guess, your weapon.
Oh yeah, axe guitar or axe.
Your amplified instrument can be used as a spellcasting focus for artificer spells.
Oh, let's go!
Performance checks while using your amplified instrument can be made with your intelligence modifier.
Nice.
Fuck yeah. You know, classical leads to metal, and you got to have that big brain
my
for your
God.
metal.
You have like a high intelligence, high strength build with like a good constitution. Whoo!
You don't need charisma to melt brains, buddy.
You go crazy. Oh man, I like this.
Additionally, as an action, you can make a melee spell attack against one creature within 5 feet of you, or a ranged spell attack against a creature within 30 feet of you using your amplified instrument. On a hit, the creature takes a D8 of thunder damage and is deafened for 1 round.
Nice. We don't see enough
So
deafened.
it's just like
in
power riff.
So what? I know deafened is like obviously you can't hear, right? So what are the combat restrictions that deafened would put on you for people who may not?
You know, it's such a rare condition that
I think
I don't know off the top of my
I
head.
actually know how to check this. Hold on, I have a file in the D&D for our roll 20. Hold on, let me see here.
Is that so?
Where I have all the conditions. Yeah. And it tells you like what they do for you. I think it gives you disadvantage on like your perception, obviously, but
Cool.
let's see here. But yeah, go ahead, continue. I'll get to this.
Okay, so at 5th level, we're getting Power Chord, which looks cool. I like the sound already, right? Spell attacks made with Amped Up deal an additional D8 of thunder damage.
Ooh.
In addition, when you make a melee attack with Amped Up, you can use a spell slot of 1st level or higher to cause the attack to make a cacophonous sound that is audible within 300 feet of you and deal an extra 2d8 thunder damage. The creature must succeed on a strength save against your spell DC or be pushed 10 feet away from you and knocked prone.
Oh, wow.
When you activate this ability again using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, increase the damage by a d8 and the distance by 5 feet for each spell slot above 1st level.
Damn.
I believe I've seen similar abilities in like some spells. I remember seeing something very similar to this somewhere.
Right.
So that sounds reasonably balanced to me. I like it. The concept of like you going full Marty McFly and knocking someone on their ass,
Yeah.
boom.
I like that a lot too. And I did
Power
find
chord.
deafened. Deafened creature cannot hear, obviously. Automatically fails any ability check that requires hearing, which makes sense. I don't know what kind of ability checks would require hearing. I mean, I guess
There are some, but like it's kind of specific.
right.
So it's one of those things where it would probably come up in there'd be situations where it comes up, but most of the time it's not going to be too relevant.
It could be like a
But I'd
tactical
imagine if the party kind of
advantage.
works around it, they might be able to use that.
Yeah, tactical advantage. Can't communicate with its allies now.
Yeah, like you can drown out communications. You can totally fuck that shit up.
I would imagine
and you
this
can
would
provide. Yeah,
Sorry, I would imagine this would give disadvantage on perception checks, like I said before.
it would make things easier for your stealthy rogue in the party to get around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if they're deafened, they can't hear footsteps.
Mhm.
You can just book it. You don't even have to be stealthy about you booking it as long as you keep out of sight.
Exactly.
I mean, I would say maybe that gives you advantage to stealth checks for your allies.
Yeah,
if
I
they're
would even
deafened.
say that. Yeah, definitely. There seems to be a lot more you could do with deafened condition, and I do like that this class is incorporating that a little bit.
It's one of those underutilized things in 5th edition where it was probably more utilized in older editions, but
Yeah,
5th edition is pretty gutted to begin with.
true.
Then we move on to level 9. We got Sick Riff. I'm loving the naming here. Very on brand. You've mastered the use of your amplified instrument and cranked the effectiveness up even further. You gain the following benefits. The maximum number of items you can infuse increases by 1, but that extra item must be your amplified instrument. Okay, so you can give your instrument an extra infusion.
Nice. I like it.
There's some amazing infusions. The concept that you could throw returning weapon on your guitar and just chuck the guitar at somebody, smack him upside the head, come back again, and then power chord.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. You could do like
that shit's
kinda
awesome.
like the flavor of like you throwing it around, you could like throw it, hit somebody, it comes back. I like it. That's cool.
Oh yeah, and then there's a couple other parts here. When you make a spell attack with amped up, you can use a bonus action to make an additional amped up spell attack with your amplified instrument. Okay, so you can use bonus actions for spells.
Does this class give
for spell attacks?
Any kind of flavored spells for this, or any new spells?
Oh yeah, we went over those.
Oh, okay.
Like this applies to spell attacks. So at that point, it's almost like a meta magic, really.
Yeah, true.
But only for spell attacks.
Right,
so. If a creature would take thunder damage from one of your artificer spells of 1st level or higher, you can force that creature to make a Constitution save versus your spell save DC. On a failure, the creature is stunned until the end of your next turn. You can do this a number of times, equal to half your intelligence modifier rounded down, minimum of 1, and you regain all of those uses on a long rest. Okay, so you can just be like, you can stun people outright. Their ears are ringing.
That makes sense too. The disorientation from that would be crazy.
Dude, loud music and loud sounds can fuck with your equilibrium. You can take a huge shock. Like, you ever throw a firecracker into a fire pit while you're right next to it, and then like it goes off, and you're like, your ears are ringing. You're a little disoriented.
Yeah, definitely.
I've done it for sure. It's just. Speaking from experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay, cool. So we got a capstone ability, but we also have some new infusions that come with this.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the capstone at level 15 is solo shred.
Okay.
As if we weren't shredding already with that bonus action.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like
this is your solo, man. You gotta
pretty
go
nice.
Off. You're the main character here.
You gotta pop off with that guitar solo.
Exactly.
You are an absolute virtuoso when it comes to the sheer amount of decibels you can make with your instrument. You gain the following benefits. 1, ride the lightning. Power surges from your amplified instrument, causing electricity to arc towards a creature. As an attack, you can choose a creature you can see within 60 feet. Make a melee attack against that target creature. On a hit, the target takes 4d8 lightning damage. You can teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 5 feet of the target you hit or missed. With it, this can be used a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1. You regain all these uses on a long rest.
Holy shit.
God, I love the music references
like
here,
crazy.
But yeah, like you're just going to be like, bam, ride the lightning, and then, of course, more music references. The second part of that is Thunderstruck.
I like this a lot. I have to.
Thunder damage that originates from your amplified instrument or sonificer spells are more effective. Your thunder damage ignores resistance and does half damage to targets that are immune. In addition, any magical silencing effects within 30 feet, within a 30-foot radius of you do not affect you, such as the silence spell. Nice. So you can basically become like immune to silences. So if someone's trying to shut you up at that level, it ain't happening.
I like that. That's cool.
You can't stop the rock.
Can't stop the rock. Oh man, can't stop, won't stop.
Then following that up, there are some infusions, like I said. And this is just really cool. Like, we got Bring the Noise. When a hostile creature's movement provokes an attack of opportunity from the wielder of the instrument, you can use their action to make a melee spell attack against the creature. And on a hit, the teacher takes a d8 of thunder damage and is knocked prone and is deafened for 1 minute.
Nice.
So earlier where it said you can take an extra infusion, I think these infusions were kind of in mind with that.
No, what would be really...
Yeah?
What the fuck? Go away. It would be really cool. Sorry.
Okay.
I think something's updating. If there was like an additional like condition proc, you know, like if a target is deafened, they gain like there's an additional effect. You know what I mean? To kind of play off of, you know, giving this condition to enemies. I think that could be really cool too. Give it kind of that extra kind of
Well,
synergy.
we might see something like that with some of these infusions, because the first one has no level requirement. This next one has a level 6 requirement. If a stunned creature would take thunder damage from the wielder's instrument before the stun condition ends, the creature must succeed on a con save against your spell save DC, and in the stun condition continues until the wielder's next turn.
I just had an idea. Also, I really like.
Yo.
Are we considering the idea that the effect that thunder damage has on objects and armor?
I like the concept is like it makes everything like this thunder damage is sonic damage. Like it permeates. It's going right through your whole body. Everything is vibrating.
You have an armor busting like melee mage. like oh my god. Like you can fight in range and also teleport in and out of melee. Like oh man.
And heavy armor to boot, so it's like okay.
Heavy armor, and you're gonna be busting down.
Which that's nothing unusual about that with artificers. Like lots of artificers use heavy armor.
Yeah, and I feel like as a DM, it would be up to you to kind of, you know, reinforce the thunder damage effect of like lowering the AC of your enemies. Like
maybe.
Like you know, you do enough of it, you know.
Like if a DM's being generous like that, cool, you know? Yeah. Next up we got this one has a level requirement of 14. The infused instrument warns the wielder of danger. While the instrument is on their person, they have advantage on initiative rolls. In addition, the wielder and any of their companions within 30 feet of them can't be surprised.
Nice.
With the exception of being incapacitated by something other than non-magical sleep. Instrument magically awakens the wielder and their companions within range.
Oh shit!
So
that's good.
It's basically like the alarm spell, you know?
Man,
like
yeah, that's really cool. I like.
This means that you don't need to have somebody on watch necessarily. The weapon is your alarm clock.
That's true. Yeah, you have like a motion detector.
And hey, that's
alarm.
And that's a tier 3 thing. Like you can get access to it at level 14, so it's not game breaking at that level, because that's just general quality of life thing right there.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm
then
thinking
finishing
about
it off,
making this. Like, I'm thinking about if Titan, you know what I mean, my Warforged character was like this. How fucking cool would that have been? Oh man, I want to make another character.
What could have been if only we had access to such prime home brewery.
Oh, I have that character.
The last one, swear it's the last part of this homebrew,
yes.
is Silent Lucidity, which you get it. It's a 10th level thing. So, okay, this instrument has 6 charges. The wielder can expend the instrument's charges to produce a subsonic wave of silence.
Ooh.
A wave to silence others, causing the following effects. As a reaction, the wielder can expend 3 or more charges to attempt to interrupt a creature within 30 feet of them in the process of casting a spell.
Oh, you got
with
a
a verbal
counter
component.
spell. Nice.
The interrupted spell fails and has no effect if its level is less than or equal to the number of charges expended. So this only works on level 6 or lower, basically. So it's like a counter spell, and honestly, that's pretty balanced. It's because you got a half caster here. I'm liking that, and of course you could be like, boom, shut the fuck up, I'm playing. Then, as an action, you can expend 2 charges to force a creature within 30 feet of them to concentrating on a spell with a verbal component to make a con save against your DC. So, essentially, you're trying to make them lose concentration. And then, following that up... Oh, just a moment there. Sam, your connection's buggy tonight.
Your shit together. What is going on? I never have
clearly
problems.
Professionals.
I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry,
At
fan.
any rate. Oh, poor Fenico. Shout out to Sugar Daddy Fenico for sponsoring the show this past month.
Oh yeah!
Bro.
Oh my God, Fen! Thank you for letting us on Lipson again. You the real? Wait, no, I paid for this time. Fuck you, Fen! Get it, bitch!
Got him. Damn. We love our editor though.
I'm sorry. Anyway, I really liked it.
Regardless, he was promised a shout out.
Yeah, man, you're awesome. You do so much. He's been doing real good. He works at Walmart now. You guys be nice to him if you work at Walmart, all right? I swear to God, we're coming for you.
We gotta keep our editor safe from all these Walmart creeps.
I heard they like femboys.
Oh no!
But all right, I guess it's
really gotta keep him safe.
Huh? Luckily,
okay, the final bit right here for this infusion. As a reaction, the wielder can expend 2 charges towards a target within 30 feet of them. Using this trait causes the other caster requires. Wait. I think I misread this.
We can read.
Okay. Can expend 2 charges to target a creature within 30 feet of them using a trait other than casting a spell that requires it to be heard, such as a hobgoblin's captain's leadership trait. No sound is created by the target. Okay, so you can silence non-spell verbal things too.
Oh, interesting.
And you regain 1d6 expended charges daily at dawn.
Wow.
So, yeah, perfectly balanced. I like that.
I like that too. Sorry, I keep yawning.
But hey, so this was made with Homebrewery and the specialization design written by Timbo Zero and Zero Effort Games. So shout out to Zero Effort Games. Y'all have made. I'd give this a 10 out of 10. I'm loving the vibe. I fucking
dig this. It's just awesome. I have so many ideas, and so I have so many.
It gets the ideas going. It's fun. And on top of everything else, it's just they added infusions, you know.
And it's
they didn't have to make extra infusions.
Too strong, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just the right amount of strong.
Yeah, it gives you the pieces to make it strong. You know what I mean? We know what we could do with this.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the "Don't teach a man to fish." I mean, no. I'm a fan of teach a man to fish, but in don't fish for him. You know,
whatever the thing
give,
is,
give the man the tools and he'll build a house.
Exactly.
Butchered it.
All right.
What you got this week for the homebrew, Sam?
Today, I should have been prepared this way. Let me click my link real quick. Boop.
I was too long-winded this time, but
Okay.
damn, I like
Bit
it.
of an episode. All right. So today, I bring kind of an oldie. I found this on the deep Reddit. You know what I mean? If this page.
The deep
below-
Reddit.
Yeah, it's a pretty old item from what I see. About 3 years ago, by somebody named Pixelated Tony. Shout out to you, dog.
Pixelated Tony.
Yeah, I like the name. If this thing would load, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So, you guys come here off. Oh, wait. I have a. Wait, hold on. Open. God damn it. Why doesn't
Did he
this
do
work?
it?
Yeah, I got it. Okay. So,
Okay.
my item are 2 magical daggers called the Songbirds, the Wren and the Nightingale. All right. So, the Wren is will look to be like a black kind of obsidian dagger with a blue gem in the crossguard. The Wren has a +1 to attack. When using both daggers, the Wren gains a +2 attack. The Wren has an ability called Ethereal Connection. The Wren always knows the location of the Nightingale. The wielder of the Wren can teleport directly to the Nightingale. And these are kind of a simple weapon, simple idea. The Nightingale has the same effect for both. So essentially, you have 2 teleporting daggers that can teleport to each other.
Oh, by the way, Sam, I do have the daggers pulled up on stream.
Oh, nice.
So it works for your homebrew, but heaven forbid my homebrew that I was excited for, was real hyped.
Tragic.
Heaven forbid I show that.
Tragic. Yeah, but I think this is really cool. It's kind of a simple idea, and it gives me the immediate Minato vibes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Throwing kunai and teleporting to them. That's fucking cool. You can't go wrong with this.
Oh, that's such a rogue item. I love it.
You have a dual wielding rogue, bust these bad boys out, you throw one, teleport to it, you know what I mean? You can just do crazy things.
Oh, dude, just pop right off.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Simple and kind of easy to understand and effective. You know what I mean? This will be useful in all cases. The damage is good. I think it's, I think with you giving such a long homebrew, mine is so short. I'm just kind of ranting to fill the space here. So yeah,
I'd say it's short and sweet,
that's what I brought for today. I like it. I like Minato a lot, It kind of was what I think of immediately. And I could see characters going crazy with these.
Oh, absolutely. I like the idea. It's fun.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you get magic items, it's not, you don't want them to necessarily be too powerful, but fun. That's the essence of a good magic item.
Essentially should be what's the word I'm looking for here, Orion? They should affect your character, you know what I mean? They should change your play style, your combat style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Get a little bit of that that wow factor.
Because these are momentous items. These are weapons with effects, with abilities. These were enchanted.
Creative potential, because exactly. There's the skill floor and then there's the skill ceiling.
Yeah, that's why I always love to talk about magic weapons, because they give you the abilities, they give you what it can do, and how it was probably made, and then it's up to you to make it, useful, and to make it creative, and to make it useful. Make it strong.
Absolutely
strong, but it's all about the wielder. You know what I mean?
I do like that, and I feel like if I was playing a rogue, I could get a lot of mileage out of that, because just being able to throw something, teleport there, get your extra attack, or you could do some tricky shit.
Throw it behind you.
You got to get up to that ledge up there,
Yeah, right.
Chuck it, we got to get to the other side of that thing. It's okay, we're going to put that, tape it to a javelin, have the barbarian chuck it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I love creative spell casting, and creative magic item usage is what really makes for fun D&D.
Man, you need to
You know?
teleport to somebody specifically. You like give it to them, and they just kind of go off for a bit. You can just
Yeah, it's like
you know where they are.
The fun thing about magic items is just like your casters, they got access to magic all fucking day.
Yeah.
Your marshals, you give them magic items, is like, okay, now it's my turn to play.
That's how you level.
My turn to get creative up in here.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, let's. Do you have anything else for this episode?
Well, I do have a Describify for the week.
Yeah, let's go.
Ooh, Descriptify.
Educate us,
man. Edumacation for the youths of our nation.
Please,
I present to you. I present to you the word palisade. Oh. Sam, do you know what a palisade is?
Okay, hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong. A palisade is like it's a part of like a wall fortification, right? So like you have like a castle wall, and then you have like the towers, and you have like the walkway or whatever. I believe that like walkway with like the parts that you hide behind is the palisade, right?
You are correct, and you're also the first person I've ever heard that knows what a palisade is.
Oh my God. How did I get there? Oh, I'm goated.
Well, you said you've been listening to a lot of fantasy audiobooks.
I do listen to a lot of fantasy stuff. That is true.
I first came across this word because I've been listening to some audiobooks myself, because as you know, I'm kind of really into the Ranger's Apprentice series right now.
Right. Oh yeah, I was gonna check that out actually.
The audiobooks are fantastic. So a palisade, like you said, it's a stake wall or a paling. Like you got all these these giant wooden stakes, and they're just like big old wall full of them. You try to climb over, it's like, oh, it's all spiky, and then you got like a little dip up on the backside where they can kind of like poke down at you or shoot arrows and get down.
Right.
Palisades are very common in fantasy settings and in real world like low end villages. Like if you can't afford a big stone castle wall, a village might be fortified with something as little as a palisade.
Yeah. Definitely true, because that can do a lot for you. It's so simple, and it just has a variety of uses. Yeah,
it's like a big old fence, defensive wall. It kind of encompasses those things together, and like there's a lot of uses that you can get out of a palisade in a campaign. For example, with the Ranger's Apprentice thing, like I was talking about, spoiler to anyone, but this is like 10 books in, so I don't think it's going to be too big of a spoiler. But there's a point in the book where they're reinforcing a palisade, and they're like, oh, hey, this spot's really rotten, as they're like replacing everything. Like, no, we're going to leave that spot extra rotten. And then we're going to extend the palisade behind it as a shorter palisade, so that when the enemy comes up and they're like, oh, wow, this is too fortified over here. Wait, there's a weak spot over there. They batter ram into the rotten part. They go in with their hundreds of men, and then as they get in, it's like, oh, shit, it's actually just a little wall behind the bigger wall. They get in there, and then they're trapped, and then they just dump rocks and just stab the shit out of them.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a trap.
It is true. It's pretty good.
I like it, because like a lot of DMs might just be like, oh yeah, it's a big old wall of wooden stakes. Like, but if you say palisade, okay, cool, and your players are like, oh, what's a palisade?
Oh, this book is so short.
Well, it's then you have to you might describe it. Like, as always with Descriptify, it's an opportunity to flesh things out more.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes knowing the right word and then causing a question can help you describe things more.
Shit, you hear us do it all the time. I literally just asked you, what's the word I'm thinking of? Maybe palisade could have been that word. I don't know. Could be for somebody.
Someday somebody will need the word palisade.
And you'll thank us. You'll think about Dungeons and Talkshows. It's like, oh man, thank you, Orion, for telling me about the word palisade.
Absolutely. Or not.
Or
There's always an or not.
Yeah. We're just nerds. What do we know, right?
What do we know, Sam?
I don't know. got a wide variety of various things of knowledge,
I have an approximate knowledge of many things.
Yeah, there you go.
But hey, I think that's a good chance for us to close out the stream. Thanks everybody for coming to see. We're doing big things with the Nerd Militia. Hopefully, we'll be not having guests cancel.
It's all right. People got things going on.
Well, that's not me being passive aggressive. I know people have lives.
At the end of the day, it's the boys. You know what I mean? We can't do it over the camera, but there you go. Hope you guys.
Now we do have some good guests booked up in the near future, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should get really cool.
Some more content creators, fellow podcasters, always a pleasure. So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Y'all can catch us Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Not on the dot because we're terrible with time management.
You can also catch us on
enough.
Sundays nights for my my D&D sessions, usually about 9-ish p.m. EST.
I'm excited for that.
You guys enjoy those. They can be done sometimes.
Well, if everyone wants to see Orion become a woman for the night, it's like, okay. Esra is my female persona, apparently.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Have a good weekend.
Good weekend, y'all. Thanks for listening to Dungeons and Talk Shows, brought to you by the Nerd Militia. Check us out on Patreon or Discord if you want to support us. And if you want to get more Nerd Militia content, you can follow us on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, and YouTube. Or really any of the usual podcasting platforms. But as always, we're nerds, so what do we know?